that are ahead of them, I always ask one simple question. How are you managing to reach out to people ahead of the conference? How are you following up after the conference? And some people have great answers and they've got a strategy already built in to manage this. Others haven't really thought about it. And as you think about one way that you can really be very tangible and specific, strategic on LinkedIn, and if you go to conferences and trade shows, pre-prep planning is one of the most important things you can do. And then following up. So take a look. Sometimes you can get a attendee list for your conference or trade show. Recently, I talked with a client. She was able to purchase this list, and she sat down and went through that list, identified the people she wanted to connect with, and did very intentional, personalized connection requests, followed up the day of the conference, and was able to meet people while she was there. Very specific intention. And then when she got back to her office, she was already 24, 48 hours ahead of many other people because she was on the follow-up side. She wasn't on the outreach side. And there's a difference. So she had already connected with people, and she was now able to further her conversation with them because she had already had a conversation live in person. So to me, this is really taking the best of online and in person and weaving it together so that people do know who you are when you're reaching out. So I want you to think about the activities, the events that you have coming up where you could begin to employ this kind of a strategy. Think about very specific people. You don't have to go through the whole attendee list, but start to think about, maybe you have some of these people already on as clients. Maybe some of these people are target accounts. Maybe some of these people are brand new you've never heard of, and you need to just do a little bit of research, and they are actually good potential prospects for you. Some of the people who are exhibitors could also be great for you to get to know because they may and probably are interacting with people who would be your ideal customer. So there's so many ways to look at this, but I want you to begin to just put something in place that you can test. And I have Matt here with me. Matt, have you ever done anything like this with an event that you're going to?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really attended many conferences, but definitely local networking events. I definitely pay more attention post-event with following up on LinkedIn and connecting with people and following up with emails if they're a really strong candidate for to be a potential client. But in terms of I don't think a lot about it with preparation and trying to get the attendee list and prospecting and looking and doing research at who is going to be there and stuff. So that's definitely something that I'm going to start implementing more because I think it makes a ton of difference.
It absolutely does. And the pre-event is really important. So sometimes you can see that list, sometimes you can't. So then you need to jump on those, that activity as you come out of that event. Maybe you're connecting with them while you're there. And if you don't know, you can always go on LinkedIn. If you're live with somebody, you can go on LinkedIn and say, hey, who's around me? And if they have LinkedIn open, that's going to pop up. I did that at an event last week where we had about 100 people. It was a networking event, and people were just connecting with one another right in that moment. It was really fun, and people loved it. And it saved a lot of business card exchange. And what I saw was that people were very intentional, even in that activity, about who they were connecting with. So recognize that they didn't need to connect with everybody, but it was great. And then I went to another event last week where we had about 25 people there, and I started to connect throughout the day with some of those people. And just a day after that event, I had 2 people reach out who said, I definitely want to talk with you. And I see this with some of our clients who are being really intentional with this. So it's conference season pretty much year-round now. think about employing this kind of a strategy. Let us know how it goes. If you're not familiar with who we are and what we do, I'm Colleen McKenna from Intero Advisory. And if you found this segment helpful, I would highly encourage you to look at Inside. Inside is our online membership program where you can learn how to really elevate your LinkedIn presence. So if you're wondering how to be more effective and intentional with LinkedIn, whether it's for branding, business development, recruiting, or anything else, take a look at Inside. We'd love to have you there. We do group coaching. We're going to be jumping over to a group coaching session now where our members can come on live and ask questions, whatever it might be. So consider Inside as you think about how you can become more proficient at LinkedIn. Until we see you next week, have a great week and happy connecting.